I'm having a really hard time today, and I think it's just because I'm really emotional. It's the military and it's the holidays, and my mister's not here. He's not gonna be here for the holidays, so it's hard, but we're gonna push on through it. So today I'm gonna be making a Christmas wreath with a little military pop. It's gonna be hanging outside of my door, and I'm excited because this is the last project I have for this Christmas. I don't have a Christmas tree, and it makes me sad because it's my dad's and I like little tradition that we go choose the Christmas tree. For the past 3 years, I've been coming with my dad to buy his Christmas tree, well, my parents' Christmas tree. And today we have the pleasure of having Abuela Christmas tree shopping. Let's go. But this year we decided to do something a little different with our money because there's a lot of families in need. So first and foremost, what I think you're gonna need is ribbon, a lot of it. So I have a red ribbon. They're all wired actually. So they have a 2.5 red ribbon, 2.5 burlap, and then 2.5 of this really cool Air Force ribbon that I found on Etsy. I have this little foam situation. I think I got it at Dollar Tree. They do have them at Michael's and craft stores. It's just a lot more expensive than if you go to the Dollar Tree. I have this white acrylic paint that I'm going to be painting the foam with, but it's like really hard plastic, so I'm not going to be using that. I'm going to be using this makeup brush instead. If you have a glue gun, I do recommend the glue gun over this kind of glue just because it's faster, but I'm going to be using this crystal clear 3-in-1 craft glue. And then I have long pearlized pins and scissors. This is the plan. I don't want this video to be 2 hours long, so I'm gonna go off camera and I'm gonna cut a lot of little pieces like this, opposite corners, and you're gonna bring them together and you're gonna glue it. So you're gonna have this kind of shape. And then you're gonna do the same thing with the other color. Opposite corners, and you glue those together. And then you're gonna bring them together like this. So this is, and then with the pin, once they're glued, with the pin we're gonna stick them onto this. And I'm gonna be giving you kind of like an inside perspective of what it's like to be a military wife. Now this video is intended to be very lighthearted. Don't take yourself too seriously. This is also not to be taken as an information video. So if you're a girlfriend thinking I'm gonna get information for when I become a wife, this video is probably not for you. What this video is intended to do is to give families who know of a military spouse kind of like a little inside perspective of what they may be going through and kind of what's in their head. This is my perspective. Every family, just like every marriage and every military experience, is going to be different. So point number 1, we don't have a schedule. I know. It's hard. It took me a while to kind of get used to it, to be okay with it. And honestly, you're just better off giving in, because the more you try to coordinate stuff, the more you try to be on a schedule, the more irritated you're gonna get when you're not able to be on a schedule. So you just kind of have to go with the flow with this. I mean, even for our wedding, we didn't have a date set because we couldn't, we couldn't really commit to a date because we didn't know what the timeline looked like for deployments this year. We did want to get married October 20th, 2020, but that just didn't work out. We ended up getting married in August. Do we wish we could make plans? Yes. Do we wish we can RSVP on time? Yes. But is that always possible? No, it's not. Point number 2. Deployments suck. Man, like deployments really suck. It doesn't help when people tell you, oh, don't worry, time's gonna fly anyway. I mean, listen, you may be right. You may be 100% right, but that doesn't help to hear that. It doesn't help because you're just all up in your feelings, and then people say that, and then you're like, I used to get annoyed when people would make comments like that. But now I just have to understand that we each have different perspectives in life and relationships. I do have family and I do have friends that I could reach out to if I wanted to. It oftentimes takes a lot of time and a lot of patience to explain what we're feeling versus just kind of coping with it on our own. cute, isn't it? Oof, I think I'm gonna love it. Oh, this is gonna be really cute. Okay, I told myself I wasn't gonna cry, and I'm not gonna cry. Point number 3. I know that curiosity can kick in. You want some details, you want the tea, you want information, but unfortunately, we can't tell you. We'd have to kill you. No, I'm just kidding. Unfortunately, we can't disclose a lot of information. And I know that people have even like rolled their eyes when they keep asking, and I'm like, I don't know. And sometimes I do know, and sometimes I really don't know. But we can't be out here just telling people stuff, you know what I mean? Like, it's national security. Really be patient, you know. A lot of the time, if we can tell you, we'll tell you. If we can share photos, we'll share. But oftentimes we just can't. And that's not just because we're just trying to be mean or anything. It's just because we really can't. So this is what it looks like just with the burlap and with the red. Now, of course, that there's gaps. It doesn't look as full as I want it to look. But that's where the blue is going to come in. And that's where like the little kick of the military is going to come in. Oh my gosh, tell me that doesn't look cute. I'm such a crafty person. I think I'm getting more emotional with it, but honestly, what's new? Moving on to point number 4. Point number 4. I am my own person. My identity isn't solely composed by being a military wife. I've been told all kinds of crazy things, but some of my favorites are, what are you gonna do now that he's gone? Your life is gonna be a mess. You're gonna be so bored. You have nothing to do. I'm like, who do you think I am? The reason I think it bugs me, it's because it goes back to when I was a child. Like, talk about childhood trauma, okay? When I was a child, my identity was tied to my sister. So my sister has developmental disabilities, and I was never seen as like Stephany. I was seen as like Stephany, the sister. And I think that's why now I'm a little triggered, because I'm like, what the heck, dude? I'm my own person. So again, it's not a big deal. Don't get offended, don't get hurt, anything like that. If you've heard it or if you've told anyone something like that. But just know that that's not cool, you know, because before I was his wife, I was Stephany, and after I'm his wife, I'm still Stephany. So I love you, babe. Point number 5. Don't project your insecurities onto me. Let me explain. Infidelity is a real thing, and I know that in the military, infidelity cases are high, and the divorce rate is super high. I get that. I know that. But what good does it do for me to worry about it? Now, I'm not saying to like disregard red flags and all of that. That's a whole different thing. A lot of the time, people will look at me and like, how can you not worry about this? How can you not think about it? For what? Sometimes you have to let go of things you can't control. Especially because right now it's a freaking pandemic. Honestly, like, I have more things to worry about than to sit there and wonder. Like, you're just gonna harm yourself, and that's not okay. It's not worth it, sis. It's not worth it. I feel like Forrest Gump, and that's all I gotta say about that. And that's the final result. Do we like it? I think it looks so cute, to be honest. And then we're gonna hang it on to here. Do we like it? I think it's so cute. I'm really impressed with the result. I love how it looks. I think it's just enough Christmas and just enough military. I think that about wraps up this video. I think it's gonna be a long one. I have to edit the heck out of it just so that I don't bore you guys. And if you made it to the end, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for giving me some of your time. As always, I really do appreciate it. I just wanted to take a quick minute to give a huge shout out to all our military members and our families, because listen, it's not easy. At the time we see the glamorous side of it, and I was thinking about this on TikTok the other day, because I said, man, everyone lives for that homecoming moment, but what happens before that? You know, you don't see the tears, you don't see the frustration, you don't see the heartache, you don't see how it physically hurts to miss that person. This is gonna be our first Christmas as husband and wife, and unfortunately we are gonna be celebrating it, you know, with a whole bunch of miles in between us. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't choose anyone else as my happily ever after. So as always, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for giving me some of your time, and I will see you in my next video.
We have our ups and downs, but when there's love, there's always a way. And oh, this time of year, we come